Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we're doing a little bit of a who does it better video, utilizing the new Onigashima trio that is over here on the global side of the game, taking on Garp Challenge Heavenly Demon 2. So the first team you guys see in today's video is the Double Kid team. That was the team, those are the supports. Let's dive in. So I do want to leave a bit of a disclaimer. All of these teams do use the bath time carrot support. As you guys are aware, the bath time carrot support is just an absolute monster for this particular piece of content, and it is the thing that I did want to keep the same through all three of the videos, as I do want to sort of show these guys, like, I don't know if I'd say to their max to their ability. Like, there's probably ways to better optimize these particular teams, but I just wanted to showcase them all on sort of like an even playing field, and I thought using the carrot support with all of these teams would actually be the best way to keep them on that level. But in saying that, I don't think Kid actually needs the carrot support. I do think that you could probably use something like Don Krieg and Jin for this particular team to work. That way you can get around the defense up, but you wouldn't be able to run it as quickly. Another thing I did want to keep true is I do remove poison without poison sockets on all of these teams as well. So if you are trying these teams, you do not need like a lot of defense up. You do need the carrot support, and all these teams do not use poison sockets. But as I mentioned, you could probably use the Brook support, the Kazuna Brook support on the Namis, and that way you could probably still do it, but you'd need to bring someone that would remove defense up for all of the teams as well. Someone like Don Krieg and Jin for this particular team. For the Luffy team, I can't really think of one for Luffy team. That was like the big issue. And for Law just has cerebral slashes. I'm sure there's something that you can find. We do have the support of Luffy on our kid here, the treasure map rare recruit Luffy. The only reason I have the Luffy there is just to make the Monet stage a little bit quicker. We get all of our HP cut on this particular stage against Virgo anyway, so utilizing the kid special there is just going to help me take out Monet very, very easily. Once we hit the next turn, we come up against Virgo, who is a Dex unit, so he's going to get absolutely clapped because we are running Kid. We're going to use a Kid special here. Kid gives us an attack boost. Bob's your uncle. See you later, Virgo. You are gone. Moving on to the next stage, we come up against Caesar Clown. Now, Caesar Clown poisons us. He gives us 1 turn of paralysis and 5 turns of special blind, as well as a full board of block orbs. This is where we're going to use our limited rare recruit Lucy special. He's going to give us a full board of orbs. He's also going to remove the special blind. And then with the support of Bello Betty, which is definitely not essential at all, you can actually just sort of set the defense quite low and do a lot of damage. We're going to finish it off with our Herculean special. And before you use the Herculean special, you want to make sure that you have 5 strength characters. That way you get the orb buff as well. He not only removes the poison Herculean, but he actually just like gives you a massive orb buff, which is really, really nice. We are using the Nostra Costello V2 for this particular team as well. Because we are keeping our HP quite low, we do get quite a nice chunky attack boost, and it does work very, very nicely. Moving on to the next stage, we come up against PeaChill. PeaChill has another 2 turns of defense up. Very, very annoying. There's a lot of defense up in this content, and as you can see, this is why Carrot works so well as a support, because you can just hit a perfect with Nami, you can destroy that barrier, and with Kid having so many strength units, you can literally just do so much damage to PeaChill, literally just with the chain lock. It's actually bonkers how much damage Kid does. The 25% damage reduction that Kid provides too when you're below 50% HP is one of the most underrated abilities about this particular unit. I'm a huge fan of Kid. The more I use Kid, the more I actually like him. And as you guys can see, literally just with a switchability of Viva Rebecca, he can take out PeaChill no issues whatsoever. He can take shots as well. Like 6k is just absolutely nothing from PeaChill. PeaChill normally does something like upwards of around 10 to 11. So Kid just tanking those shots is just absolutely wild. He's such a good unit. Moving on to the next stage, we come up against Sugar and Trouble. We get 1 turn of paralysis, and we get a full board of Dex Orbs, which they make unfavorable. We are just going to switch with Vivi Becca because we are running a full striker team. That way we can turn all of those orbs into matching orbs. We can use another one of our Kid specials to get a bunch of damage, and that way we can just pretty much blitz this entire stage. No issues whatsoever. Goodbye, Mr. Trouble. The idea of this team too is you want to try and keep your HP quite low, so just be careful when you are hitting your perfects with Vivi Rebecca, because Vivi Rebecca does have pinch healing. It's bad enough that you are getting a lot of healing with their switch ability, so sometimes you just have to hit greats with them just so you're not getting a lot of healing, and that way you aren't getting above the certain threshold for the Nostra Costello V2 to be giving you that 1.7 times attack boost. On the next stage, we come up against PeaChill, Gladius, Senor Pink, and Mark Vice. This is where we're going to use our Vivi Rebecca special, and with the support of Kyros, we get a nice chunky attack boost. We are going to use the super typing of our Kid, that way we can get a full board of orbs, and as you can see here, like with color affinity on Nami, with our color affinity on Vivi Rebecca, we can easily take out Mark Vice and Senor Pink. If you are in the Dex variation, you can easily clap Gladius here, but you really want to sort of hang around on this stage just for like 1 extra turn. That way you can actually get your cooldowns. You probably could finish off this particular stage on this particular turn, and then take 2 turns against Diamante, but you really want to make sure that your, what's his name, Lucy special is down to the 4-turn cooldown before you actually move on. And even with a bunch of strength units, you are going to be in good stead here, as you can easily take out Gladius with a bunch of damage, even without the switchability of Vivi Rebecca. So it works really, really nicely. On to the next stage, we come up against Diamante. Now, against Diamante, he turns into, well, he's a strength unit. He special binders for 5 turns, and he does a bunch of end of turn damage. Once again, that end of turn damage is not an issue, because thanks to the Nostra Castello, it's actually going to give us more damage. We're going to use the Pop Green special of Hercules, and remember, make sure to be in your 5 strength units before you use that. That's going to give us 2 turns of an orb boost. Our strength units are going to hit very hard, and we can actually take out Diamante in 1 turn. Easy peasy. Moving on to the final stage now against the 2 Doffys. Both these Doffys are Dex units, which means Kid is just going to run absolute riot. The downside is we don't have many specials, so we don't have a lot of boosters that we are using here. You could easily use a support for color affinity on this particular team as well. You could easily slide something onto Hercules, so that way you can get a 1.3 times color affinity boost, but you'd have to use something like Judge, the limited rare recruit Judge, to get that. As you are using Kid as your captain. We get an attack boost with limited rare recruit Lucy. We get a 2.5 times orb boost with Vivi Rebecca, and we get an orb boost with Kid. Ideally, you need to make sure that you are switching into Rebecca. That is quite important. And if you can't switch into Rebecca, just take 2 turns on the what's his called stage, on the Gladius stage. So then that way you can actually be the strength variation. As you can see there, we have lots of damage. I even hit a great to make sure we get the final tap of Kid. And he just absolutely decimates Doffy. So that was the double Kid team. Does it very, very nicely. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought of the Kid run. And at the end of the video, make sure to leave your thoughts and opinions on which Onigashima Trio Legend you thought does this particular content the best. There is no wrong answers. I'm just curious to see what the community thinks. So that was Kid. Let's move on to Lore now. Alright, so moving on to Lore now. There's a lot of dual units on this particular team, which means we have a lot of switch abilities, which means we have a lot of power. So that's the team. Those are the supports. Let's dive in. Now, the thing about the Lore team is you can actually just get to the Gladius, Senor Pink, and Markvi stage without using any specials. So it's actually ridiculous. I just realized in the Kid video I called Diamante Gladius. My bad, but that doesn't matter. But yeah, with Lore, we have a lot of switch abilities, and because he has access to Vivi, Rebecca, and Shanks crew, we can actually continuously get a 1.5 times attack boost, a 2.5 times chainlock every single turn, and we literally don't even need to use a special until we get to the stage where there's the damage reduction. It's actually insane how far that Lore can actually get without using a special. And if the damage reduction didn't exist, I imagine he could probably get further, which is absolutely bonkers. On the first couple turns, you're sort of just going to take your time here and just like make your way through. Lore just like does a bunch of damage and has a bunch of healing, and I am going to remind you guys in the comment section below, don't forget to let me know how you guys thought these Onigashima Legends went in Doffy 2. In my opinion, Doffy 2 is one of the hardest pieces of content in the entire game. It has gotten a lot easier nowadays, but let me know in the comment section below who you thought did it better and what you thought of Lore's particular run. As I mentioned though, we are using the carrot support on our Nami, like we are on every single team. And for this particular team, on the Lore team, we are using the support of Invinkov to get around the poison, as well as Corazon to get around the blind on that Monet stage, and it actually works really, really nicely. Once we hit the 4th stage, the content starts to actually get a bit tricky. We come up against Virgo, who does a whole bunch of damage. He reduces our recovery, he puts up 2 turns of defense up, and he has an extra health barrier. This is where we're just going to switch with our Vivi Rebecca, we're going to switch with our Shanks crew, and basically Bob's your uncle, we're good to go. Ideally, you want to switch into the strength variation of Vivi Rebecca, or Rebecca. That way, you can do a lot more damage to Virgo, but as you can see here, like, literally just with that switch abilities, like, we just do so much damage. We have so much damage on this particular team without using specials, and it just cruises its way through all the way to that Markvi stage, which is absolutely nuts. Once we hit the, what's his name, Caesar Clown stage, he's going to give us a full board of block orbs, 5 turns of special seal and 1 turn of paralysis. We can use one of the super typings of our Lore here, because we do have a Luffy on the team, so we can trigger the super typing. But first, you want to make sure that you actually use your switch abilities, and that's something that I totally forgot to do. So make sure you switch with Shanks crew, switch with Vivi Rebecca so you get the chainlock and the attack boost, and then use the super typing of Lore. That way you actually give your Shanks crew an orb, and you want to be the quick variation of Shanks crew when you do move into this particular stage. That way you will have enough damage to actually take out Caesar Clown on the very first turn, thanks to having type advantage with Shanks crew. Once Caesar Clown dies, he gives you 2 turns of paralysis, but that doesn't matter because of time skip Nami. We can actually remove that easy peasy. no issues whatsoever there. Moving on to the next stage, we come up against PeaChill. Against PeaChill, this is where things may look a little bit shaky, but as long as you switch into your Rebecca variation once again, you break the defense, 2 turns of defense up with the support of Carrot, you can actually do enough damage here to like almost like get PeaChill down to that threshold where he like kills you. So just be careful. Just be careful like which way you are doing your attack animations, as you can do like a little bit too much damage there depending on your cotton candy. But PeaChill gives you a chain coefficient reduction every single turn. So thanks to the switchability of Vivi Rebecca, we can actually get around that, and we can actually take him out on the second turn thanks to having a strength character in Luffy. Just be mindful as well, if you don't have a chain lock on this particular stage when you kill PeaChill, he's going to give you a 1.1 times chain lock for 99 turns. So make sure you have a chain lock when you do move on from that particular stage. Moving on to Treble and Sugar now. They're going to give us a full board of Dex Orbs, which they make unfavorable, and they give us 1 turn of paralysis, and they slot bind our left-hand column. We have slot bind resistance on pretty much like all of our units except for Law on that particular side anyway, but thanks to Luffy and Zoro, we can actually start removing the slot bind with their amazing switchability. Thanks to the 1.5 times attack boost from Shanks, thanks to the 2.5 times chain lock from Vivi Rebecca, we can actually take out we can actually take out Sugar and do quite a bit of damage to Treble on the very first turn. We are going to take out Treble on the second turn thanks to being a quick variation of Shanks' crew, as Vivi Rebecca are basically just going to give us matching orbs. Ideally, you probably want to switch with Shanks' crew first there, that way you have a matching orb on your quick variation of the crew. But look, it really doesn't matter because this team just has so much damage that you can just easily take him out without an orb, so it's actually just ridiculous. Now that we've hit the Mark Vice, Senior Pink, and Gladius stage, now we need to use specials. Funny enough, we've actually made it all the way to stage, like, 8. Is this stage 8? Yeah, stage 8 without using a single special. We've only used a super type and our switch abilities, but they do put up 5 turns of damage reduction, so this is where we do need to bust out one of our specials. We're going to switch with our dual units, as we always do. Then we're going to use our Vivi Rebecca special to remove the damage reduction. We have an attack boost with Shanks' crew as well, and we can actually do so much damage on this particular stage. Like, so much damage. Ideally, what you'd want to do is you could switch into... Actually, no, because you've got the laws, you can easily just get color affinity on Gladius as well, and you can actually just take out the entire stage in 1 turn. So, absolutely monstrous that Law can do that. It's so good. Moving on to the Diamante stage now, gives us 5 turns of special bind, and this is where the content just becomes cruise control. We're going to use the Nami special to remove the special bind. We're going to use the Shanks crew special to give us a 3.5 times chain lock for 3 turns, and then we're going to use our Law special. Law is going to give us a nice chunky attack boost, and that way we can get a 2.75 times attack boost to our entire team, as well as the extra damage. We have a chain lock. Diamante just absolutely melts. On the final stage, we come up against the Doffys, and against the Doffys, we only have 2 characters with color affinity. Only 2 characters with color affinity, and we aren't even using a color affinity boost, which is really, really good. Doffy puts up 2 turns of defense up, gives us a full board of block orbs, so we're going to use our other Law super typing to remove the block orbs. We have a 2.75 times attack boost, as well as 1.5 times extra damage on the Doffys as well, and we have a, what's it called? I think it's something like a 2.5 to 2.75 times orb boost with our Luffy and Zoro. Ideally, you want to use the Luffy Zoro special first. That way you get the 3 times chain lock, but with my particular run, I actually switched with Vivi Rebecca first, and that way I got the 2.5 times chain lock. So, bit of a blunder on my behalf, but nevertheless, this team had so much damage that it just does not even matter. You are only getting boosted with your Shanks crew, your Laws, and your Luffy Zoro, and the reason I actually switched into Vivi is a free spirit character. The reason that I wanted to do that is Vivi's actually going to get the orb boost from the Luffy Zoro special, and that way you can actually just output a little bit more damage. But as you can see here, we don't even attack with color affinity. Law just blasts his way through Doffy, no issues whatsoever, and it's a very, very cruise control kind of run. So let me know in the comment section below what you thought of the Law run. Let me know if you thought it was better than the Kid, and after you see the Luffy run, make sure to let me know if you think he did better than Luffy. But let's move on to the final run now with our captain. And the final team of the video is utilizing our captain, Monkey D. Luffy, and I gotta say, I was genuinely impressed with this guy. That's the team, those are the supports, let's dive in. Now, as I was saying, I was actually genuinely impressed with Luffy's run. I thought this was going to be a lot harder than it actually was. Now, if you guys have been around in the Discord, if you guys have been around on my streams, you guys will know that I've been giving Luffy a lot of hate. Now, Luffy is like one of my favorite characters in One Piece, don't get me wrong, like he's my second favorite character, right there next to Shanks. I love his character design. Everything about Luffy in terms of his personality, his charisma, his drive. I love Luffy in the anime. But this particular last app Luffy has been so underwhelming in my eyes that I thought he was going to struggle significantly, especially against Doffy 2, which is so heavily built around bringing strength characters. Luffy actually did it really, really well. I've got to give credit where credit's due. Luffy actually does it incredibly smooth and incredibly well. But, as I mentioned, the whole point of this video is for you guys to give me your thoughts and opinions on the Onigashima trio. So please let me know in the comment section below what you thought of the Kid run, what you thought of the Law run, and finally, after we finish this particular run with Luffy, let me know what you thought of our captain Luffy's run. But once we hit stage 3, we come up against Monet. Monet has a perfect barrier. Remember, you do have barrier pen with your verse Ace. And with the switchability of Sabo and Koala, you can actually get color affinity here and do quite a bit of damage. You do want to switch there into Koala. That way you can actually switch into Sabo against the Virgo stage. Very, very important that you actually do that. With the supports on this team too, we are using the Nami Sanji, the free treasure map character. They are using the carrot support. We have treasure map Reiju on this team to remove the 1 turn of paralysis, which is really, really nice. She also has the Shiryu support to get around the poison, and as you guys saw there, we do have the support of Rayleigh to get around the blind on that Monet stage. On the stage against Virgo, we are going to use one of our Luffy specials. That way we can get a nice chunky attack boost. We're going to break the 2 turns of defense up that Virgo provides with the perfect on Nami and Sanji, and that way we can move on to the next stage against Caesar Clown. Now against Caesar Clown, he's going to give us 1 turn of paralysis, 5 turns of special blind, poison, and a full board of block orbs. Now what you want to do on this particular stage is you want to remove the special blinds with the Nami Sanji special, but you also want to use the versatility of Ace. So make sure you have that versatility ready to go. Otherwise you are going to struggle on that Pika stage. Finally, switch with the Sabo Koala. That way you can get a color affinity boost. And make sure you keep a strength orb on your Captain Luffy. Very, very important that you do not attack with your Luffy on this run. Otherwise, it will make this Pika stage a lot harder than it needs to be. Very, very important that you keep that strength orb. I cannot stress that enough. Another thing about Luffy too is he actually does this without Vivi Rebecca. So that is something to note when you guys are making your decision as well. But like I said, Law and Kid, they probably don't need Vivi Rebecca, but they have access to Vivi Rebecca. So if they have access to a unit, I'm going to use them because that's the whole point of showcasing these particular units in their entirety. As we saw there, we did use the Ace special. The reason we want to use the Ace special and the reason we want a strength orb on our Luffy is we need to make sure we get that chain lock. If we don't get that chain lock, Pika is actually going to give us 99 turns of a 1.1 chain lock after we kill him. So very, very important we do that. The beautiful thing about using Nami and Sanji as well is every time we switch with them, they are going to give us matching orbs through unfavorable slots. The big downside I do find to utilizing this Luffy character is getting matching orbs. We are using the Aura Jackson so we can make recovery and tandem orbs matching, which is great. Unfortunately, Reiju's not getting boosted, but when something like this happens and we get a full board of unfavorable slots because of Treble, we can actually just switch with Nami and Sanji, and that way we give ourselves a full board of orbs. And now we're in a really, really good spot, and we can do a lot of damage here, like a lot of damage. Ideally, we want to make sure that we take out Sugar on that first turn, and then we're going to focus on taking out Treble on the second turn. The reason we're going to take out Treble on the second turn is we do need to start getting our specials back, and the big special that we do want to get back, or the special we want to see, is the Nami and Sanji special. We are going to need that for the Diamante stage. Very, very important that we can actually get that back. Otherwise, we are going to struggle a little bit there. So make sure to take 2 turns against Treble. He does hit, but don't stress. You have a lot of healing with pinch healing, and the Aura Jackson's giving us an extra 1,000 every turn. Once we hit the next stage, we come up against Gladius, Mark Vice, and Senior Pink. They put up 5 turns of damage reduction, and they do a bunch of damage on entry, as well as give us 1 turn of paralysis and orb lock for 3 turns. So hopefully you guys got a nice little orb roll here. But remember, just with the switchability of Nami and Sanji, we can actually give ourselves matching orbs through unfavorable slots as well. Unfortunately for me, I didn't get a matching orb on my Luffy, but nevertheless, it's not that big of a deal. We are going to remove the, the damage reduction with our Reiju special, and that way we can actually get a conditional boost against poisoned enemies. Now, these guys aren't immune to poison, which means Reiju's really, really good for this particular stage, as you can get that conditional boost. You could probably use a Luffy special on this particular stage if you want to, or a Sabo Koala special, and that way you could easily, do more damage. But with Gladius, you got to be really careful you don't drop him below where his, ear is. Otherwise, he'll give you 50 turns of paralysis, and you will be in for a bad time. So, just take him out on the second turn. Don't do too much damage, and as you can see, with Nami, you have plenty of damage. You don't have to worry about it at all. Once we hit the next stage, we come up against Diamante. Diamante is a strength character. He has end of turn damage, and he gives us 5 turns of special blind. This is where we're going to drop the super timings of Luffy. Getting that cooldown for Luffy guarantees us our special back for Nami and Sanji, and it just works to an absolute perfection of a T. We can use their special to remove the special one and give ourselves an orb buff. We can use one of the Luffy specials to get a monstrous attack buff. And because we have type advantage here with the switchability of Sabo Koala, we're just going to melt Diamante with our Luffys. Like, it's just going to be an absolute, like, just get out of here, Diamante. Just leave. Just leave, boy. Just leave. Once we do hit the final stage against the Doffys, we are going to get a full board of block orbs. They are going to put up immunity to delay and poison, as well as not let you guys use color affinity. Now, I actually use a color affinity support here, but if you want more damage, you can actually just switch with Sabo Koala. I wasn't sure if I needed the Sabo Koala special. As I said, Luffy actually did this really well, and I was actually prepared to be, like, not in Sabo Koala's single form, just in case I did use the kid support. But, nevertheless, you can easily just switch with Sabo Koala and get a 1.5 times color affinity anyway. So there is that. We are going to use the versatility of Verse Ace to give ourselves a full board of strength orbs through the block orbs, get that conditional boost. We're going to use his special for a chain lock and an orb buff. We can use the Luffy special to give ourselves an absolute monstrous attack buff and a base stat boost to himself, provided with Eaton. Actually, no, we got Red Haki, so, like, that's actually going to get wiped. So the big reason we are using the Luffy special is purely just for the attack boost. We are going to finish it off with Sabo Koala special just so they have higher stats. But as you guys are about to see, Luffy actually does so much Unga Bunga damage. And look, I have to give credit where credit is due. This Luffy actually does it really, really well. And I know there's one person sitting in the comment section right now licking his lips and licking his chops. So shout out to you, Jin, because your boy Luffy, he definitely performed. He definitely performed, and I was very, very impressed. We do need to break the 2 turns of defense up that Doffy has with the perfect of Nami first. And as you can see, even with type advantage, Luffy just hits so damn friggin' hard. But that's going to wrap up the video, guys. As I mentioned, make sure to head down into the comment section. Let me know who you thought did it best. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on all of the Onigashima trio. As time goes on, I'm starting to think that all 3 of them do sit on the same pedestal, and they are very, very balanced. But look, at the end of the day, that's just me. But most importantly, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. While you're down there letting me know your thoughts and opinions, make sure to smash that like button for me if you're new to the channel. Hit the big red subscribe button too. But guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. Stay positive, stay beautiful, and most importantly, stay happy. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later!